So Tantra moved with these three dimensions: body, mind, and the spirit. And when you enter into that state, then the division is lost. This is what an state, Tantrics have been calling this state, an state of hermaphrodite, in which both these polarities are within you, North Pole and the South Pole. You are what we call Hindus Ardhanarishura. Ardha means half, half man and the half woman. The moment you are angry, you are on the side of the man. The moment you are passionate, compassionate, tender, soft, graceful, you are on the side of the woman. So each moment we become a man and each moment we become a woman. Both these possibilities are there within us. Even the scientists have proved it that the human mind has two hemispheres, the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. They say on this side there are so many energies, and on this side there are so many energies, channels of energies, what we call them yoginis. So they say altogether there are 64 channels of prana, 64 manifestations. Our energy of the mind blows through 64 channels. That is why Hindus have been really very beautiful people in the world. They say that whosoever becomes perfect in 64 arts, he becomes a Buddha. And they say Krishna is the only God of the Hindus who has perfection in all those 64 arts of life. So we call him a perfect incarnation of the God. We don't give this title to Buddha, we don't give this title to Rama, we don't give this title to anybody else because they have been just on one part of it. Krishna celebrated. Krishna accepted the total life in its totality. It became for everything in his life yes and yes and yes. No space for no. No space for negation. For everything yes. So that is the path of Tantra from Jurva to Buddha. Khajuraho has really helped Osho on its path of enlightenment. Khajuraho represent the total yes to life, no negation, total acceptance. War is there, fight is there, sex is there, devotion is there, love is there. Every aspect of the life is there on the temples. And whenever we used to go together in the temples, when he was not known to the world, not even in India, he always used to tell me if an ashram will happen in life, it will be a living Khajuraho. And that he has accepted, experimented very deeply in Pune and also in Oregon. His place was totally yes to everything. Dance, music, sex. But whatever act we are doing in our life. If it is done with awareness, then you will be transformed. But most of the people have been totally in deep slumber. That is why this fast transformation did not happen. But his message was that the journey always begins from the rock to the life. So the journey always begins from body to the spirit, to the soul. That has been his greatest message. And these temples, whenever he used to come, he used to just watch or lie down for hours together. He was not looking the temples as a tourist. Every figure used to speak to him. His presence, his approach. When you are really available to a place, when you become totally available, totally transparent, then the place starts speaking to you. You have created a space inside you. Since the space is there, so the whole will enter into that space. No mystery will remain. So whatever has been happening in the world, it has been happening because the people were prepared. In India, we have a word in our language, we call it Akash Bani, revelation. As you say in Christianity, the 10 Commandments were revealed to Moses. Moses has not written them. He has been hearing these commands which were coming from beyond. And he was just writing 10 Commandments. They say in Islam that Quran was revealed to Muhammad. Muhammad was an illiterate. He was unable to write, unable to read. He was sitting in the top of a mountain and some revelation happened to him. And that revelation was recorded by one man who was educated in the village. So whenever these things they happen beyond mind, not in the mind at all. Hindus, they say that Mahabharata, especially the part of Gita, it happened into the battlefield. Now you can imagine the situation of a battlefield full of violence, full of tension, full of anxieties. But Krishna and Arjuna gave a space to Krishna to enter for this inner dialogue. So this whole dialogue of Bhagavad Gita happened in the war, among the chaos. Because beautiful things, they happen only in the chaos. When you have allowed the body to be itself, the body will receive only that what it wants to receive. It will hear only that what the ears want to hear. There may be 10,000 sounds, but they will not enter inside your ears. But if some bird is singing somewhere, if somebody is playing a flute on a distance, that will come to your ears. 10,000 people will not, their sound will not enter to your ears. Because we have allowed the body to function in its own way, without any discipline, without any suppression, without any repression to the body. So this path of these temples is the path of total awareness. When the body is aware, then the mind also slowly becomes aware. It knows what kind of thoughts should come to you and what kind of thoughts should not come to you. Once you know the problem of your sickness, there is a medicine for it. But the world does not know the reason of the sickness of the mind. Whatever we have been suppressing from the childhood, it all comes slowly. Whatever we have gathered in our subconscious state, it all comes slowly. And this becomes the cause of the desire. One after another, millions of thoughts are there. They are overlapping on each other. So Tantra especially teaches us that how to find out this gap which happened between two words. For example, you can say a rose flower. A, there is a distance gap of nothing, then a rose, then again a gap, then a flower. In between these three words, there are two gaps. These gaps are of nothingness. There is nothing at that moment. Hindus call that state shunya, in a state of zero, in a state of nothingness. That is an state of Buddhahood. That is an state of meditation. That moment there is nothing. No past, no future. That is in a state of the moment. You are still there. You are freezed there. Because the pendulum of life is moving like this. Always left, right. Man, woman, minus, plus, day, night, sun, moon, good, bad. This is the pendulum. There's nothing good, nothing bad. These are our definitions. Same thing can be good for you, the same thing can be bad for the other. For example, there's an animal, a pig. Pig is very unholy in Islam and very holy for the Hindus because it is an incarnation of their God. Their God came in the form of a pig. So this cannot be a religion. This has nothing to do with the religion. It is a tradition. Tradition was formed by we people. We are responsible for creating the divisions. So Tantra says that accept everything in its totality. There is nothing good, nothing bad. These are all temporary things. The thing which is eternal always happens into the gap. So the beautiful things, they were always revealed to the masses, to the people. It's a revelation, intuition. For a certain moment, you enter in a state psychologically and little bit glimpses beyond mind. So whatever things are happening inside you, if you become receptive, you take an example like this. You see the television. to receive the signals of the television on the top of the house, we have an antenna. It is receiving, and we see an image, we listen everything. The antenna is very receptive. We are all carrying that antenna on our head. But we have to open it. We have to make it more receptive, more available. That is why Hindus call when seventh chakra is opened, then it is kind of a fountain of bliss. Before, this fountain was locked, blocked, but we opened it. We created a space in it. So the fountain of bliss of life went up. So this is all on our action, whether we want to receive it or not. So some people have intuitions, some people don't have intuition. If our skin is thick, if it is not sensitive, we will not have any intuition. So Khajuraho is all based on this inner wisdom which has been received by the people, by the mystics of this area of the past. They made themselves available for this whole wisdom. We say that whatever we utter from our mouth, it remains there. Each sound remains. That is the whole mystery of the mantras. Maran mantra, this mantra, 64 mantras. Because you can kill somebody through your words, through your sound. You have become that receptive. So this receptivity is needed. This openness, this availability. For example, if you are standing in front of a mirror and on the mirror there is plenty of dust, you will not be able to see your face as you are. So first you have to clean this dust. When the dust is gone from the mirror, then you will see yourself into your total nakedness. So the dust is of our definitions of life, our conceptions, our so-called religions, our so-called pundits and the priests and the bishops and the cardinals. They have been all polluting us. They never allowed us to say directly to the God. There has been always a bridge between we people and the God or the existence. So you have to pass through this bridge of the middleman, mediators what we call. So this is not really needed. On the path of the religion, no. A guru is needed. Guru can teach you how to walk. But once you can walk yourself, he will just leave you alone. He cannot hold your hand all the time. He cannot promise you anything. No promise can be given. No transmission can be given. If you are ready, something will happen to you. So this transmission, this vast knowledge is all wandering into this space. And all these mystics, rishis of the world, they opened their antenna and they started writing everything. So the whole Mahabharata, whole Gita, all the Upanishads, they are born out of this transmission from the cosmos. Because nothing can be destroyed. Even scientists, they say that matter nor be created, neither be destroyed. At the most, you can change the form of the matter, but you cannot destroy it. Not completely. You might have heard till last year they have been doing a great experiment in Europe, in Switzerland, in one of the mountain with a collider and the big 9 kilometer long tunnel. They have been working on the atom. They found it out that in every atom, three things are present. When you take into laboratory, divide the matter, you will find that there is electron, there is neutron, and there is proton, and there is neutron. Hindus have been really very scientific in the early days. They found it out that there is electron, there is proton, and there is neutron. So they have created their three gods. They call them Brahma. Electron is creative. Electron is electricity. So you take minus and plus, join them, the current starts running in a circuit. It creates. We are born out of this current of two. Our parents met in the night. They left their seed, seminal seed, into the womb of a mother, and we are born. So these two are needed for the creation. So electron, they gave to one god, what they call Brahma. Then when this was created, it needed the proton to keep it intact, to keep it alive. So they made it Vishnu. He became preserver. He has been protecting, feeding us. Then they created Shiva. Neutron. Neutron is very destructive. You can make atoms, bombs out of it. You can destroy the whole world. But in each destruction, creation is hidden. That is why Hindus have been believing that there are reincarnations, life after life. Because this matter, atom, cannot be destroyed at all. It has three functions, three forces present in it. So when they were doing this experiment, and when they dissected the matter, or this atom, the smallest part of the atom was left, and they could not divide it. When they could not divide it, then they said, what name we should give it to you? So in this whole experiment, I was reading the whole episode about this experiment. They published later on a book. So there were two Indian scientists in this experiment. They said, this is what we call God. The one which cannot burn, which cannot be cut, which cannot be divided, which is eternal. This is what we call the ultimate synthesis. This is the prana, which has been always there, will be there. Even we are in this form or not. So this trinity of the science has been experimented by the mystics of this country, I think about 10,000 years, 15,000 years ago. So this is the self-experimentation. They worked on this life laboratory, on their own body, and out of these experiments they came to know that we are the part of this atom. So we have all the three possibilities. And finally they found it out that two forces are important. Everything is polar, opposites. Day, night, sun, moon, man, woman. But the Tantra has been teaching that when we were born, when we entered into the womb of a mother, if our mother has been more dominating, then it is going to be a daughter. If the father would have been more dominating, it will become a son. It was all based on the scientific research. So when they found it out that we are polar opposites, And this polarity can also become one. This ultimate synthesis. So they found it out that we are both. This side we have a man and this side we have a woman. That is why in India we call a wife Bhamagni. Bhamagni means the one who is on the left. Heart is on the left. So she is the woman here, this is the husband here. Hindus call it Ardhanari Sura. They have an aspect of Shiva and Shakti, half woman and half man. So this is the symbolism of Tantra, that we have to achieve that state. You are neither a man nor a woman. You are the product of the parents. You came out from the mother and also from the father. So you are carrying both the genes within you, both the hormones within you. So that is the greatest research. And this research has been done here in Khajuraho. In the presence of a master whose name was Gorak. He was the greatest exponent of Tantra. If Gorak would have been not there, we would have not known Kabira, Meera, Dadu, many mystics. They are all under him. They enter into his box. Once somebody told, one of the noble poet of this country asked a question. His name was Sumitra Nandan Pant. When this Amitabh Bachchan father का नाम क्या था? Harvansh Rai Bachchan, he was also sitting with him. So he asked, Acharya ji, tell us 12 names of this country. Mystics, those who really shake the whole consciousness of India. So Osho gave 12 names. They said it is too much. Give us 8. So he gave 8. He said it is too much again. Give us 6. So he gave 6. So this Subitra Nandan Pant, he said, no, Acharya ji, give us 4. So he gave 4 names, those who really are the pillars of this country. On them, the house of this country is standing. The first, he says, is Krishna. If Krishna would have been not there, we would have not known unconditional love. Second is Patanjali. If Patanjali would have been not there, we would have not known yoga. He is the one who experimented on his own body. That it can liberate you, you can reach your journey from body to the mind and also to the spirit. Third man was Buddha. If Buddha would have been not there, we would have not known meditation and the compassion. He meditated under a tree for 12 years. Just he became a skeleton. And then the fourth man is Gorak. If Gorak would have been not there, Kabira would have been not there, Nanak would have been not there, Meera would have been not there, Dadu would have been not there. So the whole lineage of Gorak, comes from him. They are all later on. Meera and Dadu and Kabir, they are later. So the beginner is Gorak, and if Gorak would have been not there, we would have not known mantras, we would have not known yantras, and of course not Tantra. He is the one who revealed, who cleaned the dust from the mirror of Tantra, made available to the world. So whatever yantras, whatever mantras we know in the whole world, this is all Gorak. And Gorak had more disciples than Buddha itself. You cannot imagine. नागा बाबा की फौज थी जो, that's all Gorak. Gorak became enlightened in Nepal at the age of 13. The whole monarchy of Nepal, half of the Nepal, Gorkhas, these are all his disciples. So when he was 13 years, he became enlightened. And the whole kingdom of Nepal was really showering in a stream of bliss. Even the whole monarchy became his disciple of Nepal. Even today, he is well known in Nepal than in India. So these people used to wander naked, fully naked. Because they say we dress only for others. We live only for others. When you are in bathroom, when you are in your bedroom, you may be naked. Like the Jainas, they wander. So Gorak also lived that way. And he passed here. The Chandelas, there are hills there in Mahoba, which is Gorak Gufa, this Gufa, that Gufa. So Gorak was their master. All these kings were his disciples. So Gorak spared this message of Tantra to the world through these temples. This is the first place in the whole world where the form to Tantra was given. Before, Tantra was just available in the form of meditations. And whatever happens during meditation, it was not created, neither in the form of a statue nor in the form of paintings. So Gorak gave this vision to the world, and this vision is available in all these temples. So from invisible, it became visible to us. All these statues, all these mudras, all these different gestures, which happen to the people during meditation. Body may take any movement, body may take any gesture. It became an yantra. This is an yantra. This is a machine. But we have two kinds of machines, outer machine and inner machine. This cosmos has a machine, it's a yantra, this globe. So some people also reach through diagrams. They create a diagram. We do some rituals, we make yantras on the ground, we do some prayer. The whole purpose of it was only this, that how this yantra can be dissolved into this cosmic yantra. Gorak gave mantras. There are two kinds of sound. One sound is an outer sound, and another sound is the inner sound. So when people are in a position to listen to this inner melody, inner music, Hindus call it anahata, unbreakable sound. This music goes on 24 hours, even while you are sleeping. But there are very rare people, those who catch it, those who experience it. The people, those who experience, they call it anhata, they called it Om, they called it Omkar. You can give any name to it. It depends all on your experience. But accepted by the majority of the people in this country is the sound of the Om. This is happening in the whole world. When it went in China and in Japan, they call it the sound of one hand clapping. How can you clap with one hand? It's impossible. But this clapping is happening within you because you are breathing.